Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to teach you complete topic from pharmaceutics first BPharm first semester, that is posology. So without any further delay, let's begin with our today's session. First of all, what do you mean by posology? The word posology is derived from the Greek word posos meaning how much and logos meaning science. So, posology is a branch of medical science which deals with the dose or quantity of drug which can be administered to a patient to get the desired pharmacological action. The dose of a drug cannot be fixed rigidly because there are so many factors which influence the doses. These factors are age, condition of the patient, severity of the disease, tolerance, both natural and acquired idiosyncrasy, route of administration, formulation used, drug interaction, and rate of elimination. The official doses, that is, doses which are given in pharmacopoeia, represent the average range of quantities suitable for adult which administer orally within 24 hours. When other routes of administration are followed, the relevant appropriate dose is given. It is the responsibility of the prescriber regarding the amount of drug to be prescribed or the frequency at which the drug to be administered. But before dispensing any prescription, it becomes the duty of the pharmacist to satisfy himself that the overdose had not been prescribed. This can be confirmed either from the prescriber or by consulting the pharmacopoeia. So this is the basic introduction behind posology. Now let's moving forward to the factor influencing posology. The optimum dose of a drug which produces the desired therapeutic effect varies from person to person because every individual varies both in the degree and character of response produced by the drug. Due to this reason, the doses of official preparation of drug are expressed in the form of a range which gives the therapeutic effect. The dose range is usually based on the average requirement of an adult patient. The following are some of the factors which influence the dose. First, age. Second, sex. Third, body weight. Fourth, route of drug administration. 5. Time of drug administration. Environmental factor. Emotional factor. Presence of disease. Ninth, accumulation. Then additive effect. Then synergism, antagonism, idiosyncrasy, tolerance. Second last is tachyphylaxis and metabolic disturbance. Let's discuss one by one. Now first we'll see age, how it affects. The pharmacokinetic of many drugs changes with age. So while determining the dose of a drug, the age of an individual is of great significance. Children and old people need lesser amount of drug than the normal adult dose because they are unable to excrete drug to that extent as adult. Children can tolerate relatively larger amount of belladonna digitalis and ethanol, whereas elderly patients are more sensitive to some drug effect. Example is hypnotic and tranquilizer, which may produce confusion state in them. Then the second factor which influences the dose of drug is sex. Women do not always respond to the action of drug in the same manner as it is done on men. Morphine and barbiturate may produce more excitement before sedation in women. Special care should be taken when drugs are administered during menstruation, pregnancy, and lactation. The strong purgatives such as aloes should be avoided during menstruation. Similarly, the drug which may stimulate the uterine smooth muscle, example drastic purgatives, antimalarial drug, and ergot alkaloid are contraindicated during pregnancy. There are certain drugs which on administration to the mother are capable of crossing the placenta and affecting the fetus. Example is alcohol, barbiturates, narcotic and non-narcotic analgesics, etc. During lactation, the drug like antihistamines, morphine, and tetracycline, which are excreted in milk, should be avoided or given very cautiously to the mothers who are breastfeeding the babies. Then moving forward to the third factor, which is body weight. The average dose is mentioned either in terms of mg per kg body weight or as a total single dose for an adult weighing between 50 to 100 kg. However, the dose expressed in this fashion may not apply in cases of obese patient, children, and malnourished patient. It should be calculated according to the body weight. Then route of drug administration. Intravenous doses of drug are usually smaller than the oral doses because the drug administered intravenously enters the bloodstream directly. Due to this reason, the onset of drug action is quick with intravenous route, and this might enhance the chances of drug toxicity. The effectiveness of drug formulation is generally controlled by the route of administration. Then time of administration. The presence of food in the stomach delays the absorption of drug. The drug are more rapidly absorbed from the empty stomach, so the amount of drug which is very effective when taken before a meal may not be that much effective when taken during or after meal. The irritating drugs are better tolerated if administered after meal. Example, iron, arsenic and cod liver oil should always be given after meals. Now environmental factors. Daylight is stimulant, enhancing the effect of stimulating drug and diminishing the effect of hypnotics. Darkness is sedative. Hypnotics are more effective at night. The amount of barbiturate required to produce sleep during daytime is much higher than the dose required to produce sleep at night. Alcohol is better tolerated in cold environments than in summer. Then presence of disease. Drugs like barbiturate and chlorpromazine may produce unusually prolonged effect in patients having liver cirrhosis. Streptomycin is excreted mainly by the kidney may prove toxic if the kidney of the patient is not working properly. During fever, a patient can tolerate high doses of antipyretic than a normal person. Then very important factor, that is accumulation. The drug which are slowly excreted may build up a sufficient high concentration in the body and produce toxic symptom. If it is repeatedly administered for a long time, example digitalis, imitin and heavy metals, this occurs due to accumulative effect of the drugs. The cumulative effect are usually produced by slow excretion, degradation and rapid absorption of drug. Sometimes a cumulative effect is desired in drugs like phenobarbital in the treatment of epilepsy. Then additive effect and synergism. When the total pharmacological action of two or more drugs administered together is equivalent to the sum of their individual pharmacological action, the phenomena is called as an additive effect. For example, combination of ephedrine and aminophylline in the treatment of bronchial asthma. Then synergism. When two or more drugs are used in the combination form, their action is increased. The phenomena is called synergism. Synergism is very useful when desired therapeutic result needed is difficult to achieve with a single drug. Example, procaine and adrenaline combination. It increases the duration of action of procaine. Then antagonism. When the action of one drug is opposed by the other drug on the same physiological system is known as drug antagonism. The use of antagonistic response to drug is valuable in the treatment of poisoning. Example, milk of magnesia is given in acid poisoning where alkaline effect of milk of magnesium neutralize the effect of acid poisoning. Then idiosyncrasy. An extraordinary response to a drug which is different from its characteristic pharmacological action is called idiosyncrasy. The word idiosyncrasy has now been replaced by the term drug allergy. For example, a small amount of aspirin may cause gastric hemorrhage and a small dose of quinine may produce ringing in the ears. Some persons are sensitive to penicillin and sulfonamide because they produce severe toxic symptoms. Now tolerance. When an unusually large dose of a drug is required to elicit an effect ordinarily produced by the normal therapeutic dose of the drug, the phenomenon is termed as drug tolerance. Example, smokers can tolerate nicotine. Alcoholic can tolerate large quantity of alcohol. The drug tolerance is of two types. True tolerance, which is produced by oral and parenteral administration of drug, and second, pseudo tolerance, which is produced only to the oral route of drug administration. Then second last factor is tachyphylaxis. It has been observed that when certain drugs are administered repeatedly at short interval, the cell receptor get blocked up, the pharmacological response to that particular drug is decreased. The decreased response cannot be reversed by increasing the dose. This phenomenon is known as tachyphylaxis. Now coming to the last factor which affect the dose of drug, that is metabolic disturbances. Changes in water electrolyte balance and acid base balance. Body temperature and other physiological factor may modify the effect of drug. Salicylate reduce body temperature only in case of an individual has rise in body temperature. They have no antipyretic effect if the body temperature is normal. The absorption of iron from GIT is maximum if the individual has an iron deficiency anemia. Now coming to the very important topic, that is calculations of doses. The doses of a drug given in the pharmacopoeia, which represent the average maximum quantity of drug which can be administered to an adult orally within 24 hours. When other routes of administration are followed, the dose is adjusted accordingly. The doses are also calculated in proportionate to age, body weight and surface area of the patient. First is dose proportionate to age. There are a number of methods by which the dose for a child can be calculated from an adult dose. First formula is Young's formula. Dose for the child is equals to age in year upon age in years plus 12 into adult dose. The formula is used for calculating the doses for children under 12 years of age. Then second, Dilling's formula. Dose for the child is equals to age in year upon 20 into adult dose. This formula is used for calculating the doses for children in between 4 to 20 years of age. This formula considered better because it is easier and quick to calculate the dose. Then third is Fritz formula. Dose of for infants is equals to age in month upon 150 into adult dose. This formula is used for calculating the dose for infants up to 2 years of age. Then fourth, Cowling's formula. Dose for child is equals to age at next birthday in years upon 24 into adult dose. Now coming to second, dose proportionate to body weight. Clark's formula used to calculate the dose on body weight. Dose for the child is equals to child weight in kg upon 70 into adult dose. Now coming to the last formula from calculation of doses is dose proportionate to surface area. In this method, dose is calculated according to surface area. It's the more satisfactory and appropriate method than based on age method. Percentage of adult dose is equals to surface area of child upon surface area of adult into 100. So this is all about posology. If you people like the video, then please share and subscribe to my YouTube channel.